Gimmick. I'm your host, DC Hannon, and we're going to do our little rundown of every single match that happened tonight at Fastlane. I'm pretty happy with the show. I thought it was overall pretty good. First match was on the pre-show. We had Matt Riddle versus Mustafa Ali from Retribution for the United States Championship. This was a pretty good back and forth match. I felt like both guys put a lot into this. So with this match, the finish came with a second row bro Derek by Matt Riddle, where he got the 1, 2, 3. After the match, Mustafa Ali started yelling, screaming, and putting all the blame on Retribution members, which then led to Reckoning, Mia Yim, to walk out on Mustafa, followed by Slapjack. Mustafa then turned his attention to Mace and T-Bar, where he kept on blaming them for everything that happened, that they're the reason why he lost. Like he's been doing for weeks, blaming them for losing all the time when he lost himself tonight. The two big men decided to grab him by the throat, double choke slam, done. They left Mustafa Ali behind, which is hopefully the end of Retribution, because this group has not been that great. Has been terribly booked, written, and everything from day one. So there goes Retribution. Mustafa Ali's now on his own. So for the first match on the main card, we had for the women's tag team titles, Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler versus Bianca Belair, and the Raw Women's Champion, Sasha Banks. This, I felt, was an okay match overall, but before the match even started, we had both teams arguing because they all had certain problems, because you had Shayna Baszler kicking Nia in the face on Raw. You have Sasha and Bianca, who are wrestling at WrestleMania for the title, so they have their own bickering going on. Overall, this match was okay. One highlight definitely was Bianca Belair hitting a 450 splash onto Shayna Baszler, which was absolutely awesome. That girl has so much athletic potential. Towards the end of the match, we had Sasha Banks locking in the Banks Demon on Shayna Baszler. When Nia Jax came in, Bianca Belair came in to go hit her. Nia pushed Bianca into Sasha and Shayna Baszler, which then broke up the Banks Statement, which then led to Sasha and Bianca arguing amongst each other, which then led to the roll-up by Shayna Baszler pinning Sasha Banks for the 1, 2, 3, and Bianca not being able to make the save. Bianca and Sasha started arguing and fighting, blaming each other for the match and talking about WrestleMania. Then Sasha Banks wound up and cracked Bianca Belair in the face, slapping her right in the face. It was fantastic. Overall, okay match. Not a huge fan of this one at all. Next match we had for the Intercontinental title, Apollo Crews fighting Big E for the title. This was a pretty good match. Both men are very highly athletic. I really like Apollo Crews. I do like that he has a new gimmick, new attitude, but the stupid Nigerian accent I absolutely hate. I just don't think, I don't know where you just suddenly get yourself an accent like that. It's almost like Kofi Kingston in reverse. This was very good overall. I really did enjoy this match. In the end, it came down to Apollo Crews going for a small package. Biggie sort of reversed it a little. It was a little confusing. And Biggie then bridged for the 3 count. Apollo's arm was down, but it was hard to tell who actually had who at the point. So with this sort of clusterfuck of a finish, Apollo can say, I didn't really lose. After the match, he then assaults Big E, repeatedly slapping him, hit him repeatedly with angle slams. This feud obviously is going to last for a little bit longer now, because of the fact that this little confusion with the finish will then continue their story, which I hope eventually Apollo Crews will then win the IC title again, and this will end up being a really good match that most likely will end up being on WrestleMania as well. Next, we had the match that ended up not being advertised anymore, Shane versus Braun Strowman, which I was actually pretty happy because this whole thing was just crap. Shane got hurt training. He appeared in the ring with Elias and Jackson Riker, and Elias was going to replace Shane in the match. Braun Strowman comes out and pretty much just destroys and squashes Elias. Elias is just a straight jobber right now. He beat him with a running power slam. Typical Braun Strowman match. Was not good. I didn't like it. Which most likely then is now going to continue with this another storyline. Continue the storyline with Braun and Shane, and I hope to God does not land on WrestleMania. I'm actually going to WrestleMania, so I really don't want to see that match whatsoever. Another match. Typical, what do you expect? Especially with Shane and Braun, and the fact that you got replaced with Elias. Yeah, no interest in this one. Nope. It was just crap. Simply put, just crap. Not a huge fan of this one at all. Up next was a segment that I did laugh a little bit too. You had Nakamura getting ready for his match with Seth Rollins, and all of a sudden here rolls up Matt Riddle on a scooter, telling him, I have all these ideas to stop businesses and everything. And then he starts talking about tricking out scooters with like LED lights and all this other stuff. And he just goes off on a little rant about some story about, I can't remember, God knows what. And then he looks over and Nakamura left. And Matt looks all confused. And he just rolls off. And then as soon as he rolls off, Nakamura comes out with a confused look on his face. I thought this was sort of funny. This Matt Riddle crap is just, it's funny, but it's stupid at the same time. So after the segment between Riddle and Nakamura, we had Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura. I did like this match. It was pretty good. Both men just exchanged back and forth. Seth repeatedly talking about Cesaro hitting the 22 swings on him. This was another pretty good back and forth match between these two, which then ended with Nakamura looking for the Kinshasa to the mist. Kinshasa, the both guys exchanged back and forth. Rollins then was able to score with the stomp. If we get Cesaro versus Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, it's definitely a high quality match that we're going to get, because Seth Rollins is amazing. Cesaro is even amazing. And I can't wait to see these two battle it out, because I hope Cesaro starts getting his push, because this dude is way overdue for a big push. So that match I'm very much looking forward to. Shinsuke versus Seth, another really good match for me. The no-holds-barred match between Sheamus and his 20-year friendship with Drew McIntyre. The build for it was really good. The video was great. Showing video from both of them from their indie days back in the UK. It was actually pretty damn good with that. Typical no-holds-barred match, back and forth with a bunch of other hits, kendo sticks. WWE trying to take a shot at AEW, I felt like a little bit, when Drew McIntyre threw Sheamus into the fan screens when they worked their way through the crowd, making the sparks go up and stuff. Just trying to hit them back with the what an explosion supposed to look like. It was a huge one that they needed, but I felt it was sort of funny to me, because that's all I could think about was AEW when he did that. During the match, you had Sheamus hitting the white noise off the barrier to Drew McIntyre through a table, and in the end, it finished with Drew hitting the Future Shock DDT, followed by the Claymore. After the match, the two men looked at each other. Drew looked at, he was a little teary-eyed. That's his longtime friend. He started looking up at the WrestleMania sign as well. This was okay. I wasn't a huge fan of this no holds barred match, but overall, the story behind it was fantastic. This could go on for a little bit longer. I would like to see these two actually fight over the title after WrestleMania, but I don't really see Drew McIntyre winning the title. I don't see Drew winning the title from Bobby Lashley, because Bobby Lashley right now is on a tear, and there's no way you can screw this up right now, because the storyline behind it is way too damn good. You can't let Bobby lose already. It would just ruin everything you've already built around it, and the guy's long overdue winning that title. But Drew versus Sheamus tonight was pretty damn good. On to WrestleMania. Next, you had Alexa Bliss versus Randy Orton in a match I had no real interest in, except for waiting for the Fiend to show up. When Randy Orton came out, he started doing his typical posing up in the corner, and all of a sudden he started spinning up the black stuff again, like he did on Raw, like Alexa Bliss did a couple weeks ago. Eventually, Alexa makes her way to the ring. The bell rings. Randy takes a step forward, and all of a sudden the angle of the camera changes. All of a sudden fire shoots up right at Randy Orton. Alexa Bliss looking scary as hell with that makeup, looking pretty dead. They work their way to the outside, still not hitting each other. Orton stalking Alexa Bliss. Alexa looks up, and a light fixture from the arena drops right in front of Randy Orton, almost hitting him. Then they work their way back into the ring, and Alexa's smiling and throws a fireball at Randy Orton. It's just so funny, a little crazy. What you expect right now with the whole Alexa Bliss being possessed and having suddenly powers because of the Fiend. Then, out of nowhere, while Alexa Bliss is sitting in the corner, a hand comes right through the ring. Light comes out, fire comes out, and all of a sudden your face, a burnt, melted face comes through the ring, and it is the Fiend. You're looking even scarier than he did before. Randy Orton looks scared as hell. The Fiend comes out. He's burnt clothes, burnt mask, burnt everything. Jumps off the top rope, pushes Randy into the Fiend, and the Fiend hits the Sister Abigail. Then Alexa just sits on top of Randy for the 1, 2, 3, and one hell of a creepy ending to that match with the Fiend's burnt, melted face and body standing over Randy Orton as Alexa Bliss is sitting on top of Randy Orton. It was a cool visual. I do sort of like the new look, but I thought the other Fiend mask was a hell of a lot cooler. He looked pretty damn scary. Even my wife said, this dude looks scary as hell, and actually hopes he doesn't come to WrestleMania. But, you know, this is going to lead to another WrestleMania match between Randy Orton and The Fiend. But so I'm looking forward to this. This match was, it was okay. But having The Fiend back, I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully they don't continue to screw this up. The next match, the main event for the WWE Universal title. We had Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman versus my boy Daniel Bryan. And this match was absolutely phenomenal. Hands down, the match of the night, the psychology, everything about this match was so damn good. I got really excited in this, and I haven't been that excited in a long time for wrestling, to be honest. This was so damn good. The transitions between submissions for Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan just out wrestling Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns just using pure power, strength, and striking, just ground and pound. Daniel Bryan was so damn good. This whole match was just top to bottom, was absolutely phenomenal. And then towards the end, you had Daniel Bryan going for the running knee, Roman Reigns moving, clocking the ref, getting hit with the running knee, locks in the yes lock. Roman looks like he's about to tap out, and then suddenly Jey Uso comes in, super kicks Edge, super kicks Daniel Bryan. Then he gets a chair, comes in the ring, ready to knock out Daniel Bryan, and then Daniel Bryan hits him with a running knee as well. Picks up the chair, goes to crack Roman Reigns with the chair. Roman ducks. Edge gets in the way, cracks, bam. Edge goes down. After Edge is hit with a chair from Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns comes up, Superman punches Daniel Bryan. Roman Reigns, furious, ready to kill Daniel Bryan, goes for the spear. Daniel Bryan reverses into the yes lock. Suddenly out of nowhere, Edge hits Daniel Bryan with a chair, hits Roman Reigns with the chair too. He starts yelling, "This is mine, this is mine," and then hits Daniel Bryan with a chair again, and then leaves the ring furious. Then suddenly another referee comes in. Roman Reigns crawls over and pins Daniel Bryan for the 1-2-3. This hands down definitely match of the night. Overall, I give it a 3 out of 5 for sure for the whole show. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for the next episode tomorrow for my review of Monday Night Raw. Stay tuned. Welcome to The Gimmick. I'm DZ Hannon. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification for all of our videos that we're going to go forward.